Charlie Carbs and Cycling.
Back from my little trip. I'm now back in London, but here's some footage from Adelaide Sawpit Road. It gets 1.1k at 10% basically, and KOM was Angus Dixon, and Dan said, let's go for it, we're on a 200k ride, so he was like, might as well. So this is the beginning part. Dan was doing a bit of a lead out, and I was like, nah, that's alright, let's go on my own. So this is the longer part of the Sawpit, from Nettle Hill, sorry. The segment that I got was also the long part, but the short part was where I actually went hard. So you can see that we're just rolling up. This is the T-junction, Nettle Hill to Sawpit. It sort of makes sense to come from the Sawpit part because you then get a downhill into it, so you just get a little bit more speed, but obviously the whole hill comes from the right. So anyway, here we go. This is the start of this segment. It took me about a little over 4 minutes to get it. It was hard, but not like crazy hard. So I basically tried to average about 400 for the thing. I think I averaged 395. So yeah, it was good effort. Good effort, especially that it was during a 200k ride. Generally, that 200k ride, we didn't go that hard. We just like cruised in between and then went hard on efforts. So I got a little bit too excited here. I'm holding like 20k at 9%, which is a bit fast. I believe the gradient isn't 100% right, because this bit definitely isn't 10%. This is more like 6 or 7%, which is why I'm going faster. Maybe it's 8%, I don't really know. But anyway, the bottom part is just so easy to overcook yourself. I'm even doing it now. I was like, alright, I better calm this down, because I think my average was well over 400 for the first 2 minutes, which is not really, well, it is sustainable for 5 minutes for me, but that's like a real effort, like when I'm going completely dying at the end. I didn't really want to do that. I just wanted to try and get the KOM, but not absolutely kill myself. Luckily, Dan took some bottles and stuff, so I was a little bit lighter. There's me going over a pothole. The road surface here is pretty shocking. It's just like a classic country road. Not really great, but it doesn't have too many potholes, luckily, so we're pretty good. So you can see the gradient's ramping up now. We're getting over 10%, which is when the gears can be a little bit of a problem. But for me, I had a 36.28 on today, and it was actually okay for once. Just because it's such a short effort, you're still going well above 10k an hour, so it's fine. On a 36.28, I found below maybe like 12k an hour. It's just a little bit too much grinding for me, and below 10 it's just absolutely horrible. But you can see my heart rate's starting to get up. Heart rate is always a bit weird on those longer rides. I mean, heart rate generally is just an odd thing to measure, but people often quite like it because it sort of shows roughly like how hard you're going. But yeah, so it's getting up to 190. My max is about 201 or something, which is I can sustain for like a little bit, but I haven't really gone. I think it might be above that because I've hit 201 in a race before. But anyway, this climb is pretty beaut. Just don't overcook yourself at the end, and then the hard part is really just the middle part the middle part / towards the end part. So this is when it starts to slacken off a little bit, and then it just ramps up at the end, and that's really when you just have to keep going. Just be like, I'm gonna get over this climb. So yeah, I was sort of thinking just about like holding my numbers, just try not to go crazy, and just keep a good cadence the whole time. I don't really want to go below 80 at any point. On the climb, I think I probably did at some point. There you go, 79. But definitely, it was not one of those super steep climbs, but it was good. I know Angus Dixon could probably beat me because his Mount Elmer time is insane. And Kensington Road, I think we're like 1 second off or 2 seconds off, so might be able to have him on that if I ever come back to Adelaide, but I'm not sure if I will. But yeah, so it's quite sad leaving Adelaide. I'm a bit like what's going on at the moment. There's no climbs near me, but Nettle Hill is good. You should definitely try it out if you're going to the Flurio. It gets up to 14% here, but again, it's 12k an hour, 74 cadence, so it's not great. Greatly steep. Do you want us 14%? But it's it gives the legs a bit of work to do. So you can see we're pretty smooth on power. Actually, holding it close to 400 now. Just as soon as I say that, the power just drops. But anyway. Very enjoyable little climb. Not really like I'm not sure why I would compare it to, because it's not really like it's like short as like Kensington Road, but it's just not really super steep. I guess it's like I don't really know what to compare it to. It's just its own climb, I guess. Just pretty cash. You can cruise up it. You can go absolutely full gas. It's a nice climb because it's not too long, and also you feel like you're going quite fast up it because you average like some decent speeds because it's such a short climb. Because on the longer climbs, often you're going really slowly on the 20% stuff, and it's just absolutely brutal. But there's at least it's short, so you feel like you're absolutely zooming up the climb. So you can see we're getting towards the end of here, and you just have to remember to keep pushing over the top, as at the end of the climb, it's not the end of the climb, if you know what I mean. So when you get to the flat part, it just keeps going. I sort of made that error. So this is basically towards the end, up to close to 400. That truck overtakes me, giving me a bit of windbreak, which is always good. So around this corner it starts to flatten off, but you just have to keep going basically the whole way. It ends up being about 4-minute 20 segment, 4-minute 30 segment, so just keep going basically. And then I even made this mistake. I thought the segment was done here, but it's not. It basically just keeps going slightly over this ridge, so you can see my power starts to drop. I knew roughly to keep it on, but definitely I think the segment ends about here, just as your